administration, we have identified what we consider the greatest threats to our country's future. Among the three national security threats is number one, terrorism. And although we have not had all our energies and focus in this sector are geared towards remaining alert and focused to detect, thwart, and deal with any attempt to hurt our country by terrorists. And I want to commend our officers who are helping us in this fight for sustaining for some time now a very, 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 very successful effort. The second threat is the threat of cattle rustling, which is affecting approximately 9 counties, out of which we have put in place measures, specific security measures in 5 of them. The problem of bandits. The third problem, or the third threat, is what we are talking about here today, which is the trade, use, abuse of illicit alcohol as well as psychotropic substances and drugs. This is a problem that is likely to impair Kenya's future in a big way unless it is addressed. Your Excellency, I want to assure you and the country that at the Ministry of Interior, having profiled the problem of alcohol and drug abuse as part of the top 3 national security threats, we will support the national effort to tackle this problem with the same vigor, commitment, focus, and finality that we are continuing to apply in the other 2 threats which I've identified, which is the fight against terror and the fight against bandit attacks. I know I have had discussions with elected leaders from this region, and they have said they would want all of us in the ministry the same way we have waged a sustained war on bandits. Parts of the country that are affected, and wage a similar, if not more vicious war against the terror of drug and substance abuse. I know, Your Excellency, in your opening remarks, you did highlight and point out the complexity of this matter. And you carefully advised all of us to be candid because the matter is complex. We cannot come here and pretend. And I think for us to resolve this matter and address it with finality, we must be open to each other and tell each other the truth as a country, because this is about our country. It's not about another country. It's about us. It's about our families, our children, and our future. The police have work to do. KRA has work to do. KEBS has work to do. Our political leaders have work to do. Everybody has a job to do. I want to assure you, Your Excellency, for us, we are aligned to the vision of the President and yourself to make sure we get Kenya out of this menace. We'll not spare any effort, and based on the recommendations of this forum and the other forums that will be taking place in other parts of the country, we give you the highest assurances of our commitment to implement the decisions that will be owned by these stakeholders gathered here today and that will be gathered elsewhere. Finally, Your Excellency, because today is not my day to talk, today is my day to listen. I want to say that however complex and difficult and challenging this problem is, however entrenched the problem is, however powerful and complicated the players are, nothing, and I dare repeat, nothing can defeat the collective resolve of a country determined to save its future. I believe we can get rid of this problem. It will be costly, but it can be done. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, everybody. I look forward to taking notes on my homework, which I should carry home this evening as my contribution to this national effort to redeem our future. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Let's give him another round of applause, please. Thank you very much, our CS Interior. The next speaker, I want to request the Chair of the Council of Governors, Her Excellency, Madam Anne Waiguru, to address us. Karibu, Mheshimiwa.
Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, my colleague governors who are present, led by our host, Governor of Nyeri, Waziri for Interior, Professor Kindiki, all elected leaders, members of Parliament and Senate, led by our majority leader, Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah, the entire security sector that is represented and led by the IG, the DIG, and the RC. All protocols observed. Good afternoon. Your Excellency, allow me to start by thanking you for this initiative, and thank you most sincerely because as a Council of Governors, we had an opportunity to have a briefing on the issue of alcohol and substance abuse when we had our retreat. Your Excellency, during that retreat, if you recall, the governors were quite surprised because we were given not statistics just for the central region, but for the entire country. A lot of the times when the conversations come about alcohol abuse, especially, people refer to Central Kenya. So my colleagues were very shocked at the way that this problem has cut across the nation. I thank Your Excellency, and I thank His Excellency, the President as well, for starting with the Central region to come up with policies and initiatives to deal with this problem. Your Excellency, allow me to take a different approach. I will not give general remarks. I think I will make a comment from my experience as governor so that we can now probably start having a conversation on what is it that we can do now that we have seen what the problem is. Your Excellency, let us start with the admission. We have a problem. We have a very serious problem. We have a problem that we have always acknowledged that is there. We gather together. We look at the statistics. We say how serious this problem is, and then we go home and the problem continues. I think, Your Excellency, today we will do Central Kenya in this country some justice if we walk out of this forum with tangible steps and solutions of what we can do. There are certain questions that were arising as we were looking at the statistics. For example, is it commendable? Does it look like we're working when we net more people with illegal or illicit brews? Shouldn't the problem be that there is actually no one to arrest because no one is making illicit brew? I think we need to start asking ourselves how we're measuring our performance. What is it that indicates that we have performed? The number of, I know there was one issue my colleague was whispering to me when they showed the statistics about single parents. Favorable. And he was, you either tell me, in Kirinyaga we say, you know, on a more serious note, more seriously on the solutions. I'll give you my example of Kirinyaga County. You saw that I have very few serious wars with bar owners in Kirinyaga. At the moment, I'm in court, and I think I have several court cases. And so what do? They pay, and then they continue. Because these operations are carried out at night, they are taxing for the teams. But when you go around, and then after a week, somebody has a court order that they are allowed to actually continue until the case is finished, it brought